And in New York, it's a 30 Rock reunion for Tina Fey and Jane Krakowski on the red carpet for You Gotta Believe's Voices for the Voiceless. The event raised over $500,000 for the adoption of the 1,300 young adults in New York City's foster care system.
Every show should begin with that. Okay, hey everyone. All right, it's like the best. We needed something sassy.
Birds suddenly appear every time you are near. Just like me, they long to be close to you.
I'm Sharif Griggs, and I was adopted at the age of 3. But my adoptive mother broke her adoption agreement when I was 13, and I was placed into foster care. Because of You Gotta Believe, I found permanent family when I was 18. A family in college is not a typical outcome for most older youth in foster care. But because of You Gotta Believe, I was able to defy the odds.
Tell them, hey, I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity.
Without my mom, I promised James I wouldn't go through this, or Seth. Without my mom and my family and people believing in me, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be doing my thing. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce Tituss Burgess is going to sing a song that my mom and I hold in our hearts. And before my mom passed away, this is the song that she left me with. And when my life is over, remember when we were together. We were alone, and I was singing the song to you.
I'm so pleased to be here tonight because I'm an advocate for foster care, and you gotta believe my husband and I adopted our son out of foster care. Best decision we ever made. 5 years ago, my husband and I adopted a 5-year-old African-American boy from Compton. And people always ask us, where's he from? Is he from Botswana? Is he from Rwanda? Is he from Malawi? And I'm like, no, he's from Compton. Making their Broadway debut, my husband, Jameson Hebert, and my son, Zion Joseph Hebert Mapa.
I always, cried as a kid, wondering when there was going to be a stable situation for me or a loving home for me. In winter, cold and lonely, as a teenager, I was homeless. Now, with a wife and children, and I'm so happy for my children and the life I've been able to make for them, and even happy for myself that my life has finally become so easy.
And since 1999, 730 children have been featured on Wednesday's Child.
When I was 5 years old, my mother suffered a major nervous breakdown. She was diagnosed with severe paranoid schizophrenia. She was put in a mental institution until my 8th birthday. During those 3 years, I was moved from relative to relative and foster home to foster home. When I was 7 years old, my mom was released from the mental institution for 2 days so she could spend a little bit of time with me. She took me to see the movie, The Sound of Music.
Saw a needle pulling thread, law, a note to follow, saw tea, a drink of jam and bread. That's what brings us back to shore. Re mi fa sol la ti do. So do.
I was adopted from foster care when I was 6 months old. I was born in Colorado and lived in a crack house for the first 3 months of my life, suffering severe physical abuse, and I ended up in Children's Hospital with non-accidental head trauma.
But I can make an explosion. This is my fight.